Hey everyone, I'm Paul, and welcome to Paul Takes a Walk. This is where I'm going to be documenting my 2019 northbound thru hike attempt of the Appalachian Trail. I'm not a very experienced hiker, pretty novice actually, but I've been doing my research this year, and I'm going to take you through all of the gear that I've researched and bought for my attempt. We have a reservation date to start the trail March 15th, so be sure to check back and I'll post some updates between now and then. But for now, let's get into the gear. Starting with the cold weather, Patagonia Puffy, Patagonia Fleece, and then just a set of REI liner gloves and beanie. Slightly lighter weight, I've got a midweight Capeline and some REI midweight bottoms. For camp comfort, I've just got a set of lightweight silks for around camp. For the actual hiking, I'm going with a set of Salomon trail runners and a set of Croc camp shoes. We'll see if the Crocs stay around. I haven't done a whole lot of long distance hiking in the Salomons yet, so I may lose the Crocs a couple weeks into the trail. The actual hiking clothes will just be a REI lightweight top and a pair of crappy plastic running shorts, basically. There's some ex officio boxers and some darn tough socks. For the cold weather gear, I've got the Helium 2 jacket and a rain kilt, just a set of REI over mittens and a waterproof bag liner. The two blue things down in front of you, one's a buff and one is a small microfiber camp towel. For the backpack, I went with the Exos 58. It's the most popular bag on the trail this year and for the last couple of years. My tent is a Lightheart Gear So Long 6 with a Nemo Tensor insulated inflatable pad. I'm a side front sleeper, so I took a little bit of a hit on the tent and the pad just to make sure everything was long enough and wide enough to fit on comfortably. Bought a couple add-on pockets for the backpack because the Exos no longer comes with any hip or shoulder strap pockets. The green bags replace the compactor bag liners that a lot of people have gone with. They're basically hospital hazmat bags that you can get on Amazon. Inside of the Ziploc bag is my first aid kit. I'll break that down in a minute. For the stove, it's just a lightweight 750 milliliter titanium pot and the pocket rocket. Sawyer squeeze, Deuce of Spades shovel. I've got my wall charger and battery pack, a set of sunglasses, the Petzl Tika flashlight with the rechargeable battery pack on the inside of it, the bear bag rope and the throwing bag for hanging the bag in bear country, 20-liter Sea to Summit bag for all of the food, hiking poles obviously. I've got the silk liner and the Sea to Summit pillow for sleeping comfort. And then the sleeping quilt I went with is an Enlightened Equipment Revelation 20-degree bag with the stuff sack for that. I'm hoping I can fit all of this into the 58-liter pack and leave the brain at home. It's just extra weight and complexity I don't want. I tried to set up everything to keep the weight to a minimum without getting too into the ultralight craze and leaving all of my comforts at home, basically. I'm willing to carry an extra 2 or 3 pounds to be comfortable on the trail for 6 months. So let me spread out my first aid kit and we will get into everything I'm carrying in that. Here are the contents of my first aid kit laid out, and I'm going to hold the camera on this one so it might be a little shaky, but try to get some close-ups so you can actually see what's in here. First off, just the aluminum blanket for hypothermia or heat exposure, whatever you need an aluminum blanket for. Some different size gauze pads, just for various damage that you might need to soak up. Some regular Band-Aid, some fingertip Band-Aids, some knuckle Band-Aids, some butterfly Band-Aids and smaller Band-Aids, antiseptic pads, burn cream, single serve Neosporin, and if the butterfly bandages aren't enough, I found some really tiny, and let me hold these, really tiny super glue packets, which work great for emergency stitches. The Leukotape and the medical tape, I just wrapped around a Bic pen and then cut the pen down to size to give myself a roll. The pills, I went to the doctor and got an advanced prescription for doxycycline, which is anti-Lyme disease, or antibiotics for Lyme disease. That way if I do get stuck on the trail and don't have access to it, I've got the pills to not get infected. Inside my ibuprofen bottle is ibuprofen, Pepto-Bismol, antihistamines. That's where I'm keeping my sewing needle because it's protected. Antidiarrheal, and some allergy pills as well. I've got my mini toothbrush and my mini toothpaste, my Mach 3 razor head. I'm not even going to bring the handle. I've got some women's knee-high pantyhose for a slip layer in case I start getting some blisters. My Bic lighter, my Vaseline-soaked cotton balls, a mini Sharpie, so if I do get a tick, I can mark the spot and keep an eye on it. Small toenail clippers and tweezers. My mouth guard is actually an anti-snoring mouth guard because I snore really bad, and on nights I want to be able to use a shelter. I don't want people to kill me. My Blistex, some earplugs, hand sanitizer, anti-monkey butt powder is really just an anti-chafing cream for long walks. Some antacids, some baby wipes. I'm missing two big things that I want to put in here. One is a couple sheets of emergency toilet paper, because you never know when you might get caught off guard and not have a privy around. And the other one is a small mirror, because unless you're really good friends with somebody on the trail, checking your own butt for ticks will be a much harder endeavor if you don't have a small mirror. So that is my first aid kit. All total, it weighs just under a pound, which is a lot more than most people want to carry for a first aid kit. But I think everything here is pretty necessary for being out on the trail. Well, thanks for giving me the time to walk you through the gear I'm going to be hiking with. I've got a 12-mile day hike scheduled for next weekend and a 43-mile 4-day hike scheduled for President's Day weekend, so be sure to check back for some updates. And starting March 15th, you should see some actual Appalachian Trail footage.